team available or in the playoffs to win. I just don't get why they are trying to get rid of this guy. I gave you I gave you Cowher's numbers. Okay, now here's Tomlin. Lost his first year. Lost to Jacksonville in the AFC wildcard game. The next year, he won the Super Bowl. They didn't make the playoffs the following year. They went 9-7, still had a winning record. Then lost to Green Bay, went back to the Super Bowl, lost to Green Bay. Then they lost to Denver in the AFC wildcard game. 2 years after that, didn't make the playoffs. But the last the last 4 years, they have been in the playoffs. You know how many teams in the NFL hasn't even been during his 10-year tenure that haven't even been in the playoffs? Buffalo just got there, and it was 1999, and Prince was singing a song. I'm telling y'all, man, you Steeler fans, y'all are spoiled. And then a guy, and I'm not picking on him at all, but everyone gets excited for a guy like John Gruden. John Gruden also, he won one Super Bowl. He's a great mind as far as like when they call coach and all this stuff when they speak about John Gruden and all this, but his resume ain't like Mike Tomlin. John Gruden ain't never had his team in the running to go to the Super Bowl or be in the playoffs on a consistent basis. I'm just telling y'all, these people want him gone, and I just don't understand why. You guys have been spoiled. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh. I'm on the outside looking in, but it looks like you guys are spoiled. You had Chuck Noll, won 4 Super Bowls. Then you get Bill Cowher, who still got y'all in the running, got you to 2 more Super Bowls, and then Mike Tomlin comes in and gets you to 2 Super Bowls as well. And each coach has won at least 1 Super Bowl. And Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm lost with that one. That Ninja said Jim Caldwell would do quite well in Pittsburgh. Jim Caldwell has a hell of a resume, sir. I love Jim Caldwell. I understand why they did it. I was not necessarily on the boat of getting rid of him. I don't think it was just, a travesty of what he was doing in Detroit. He gave us some success. We hadn't been to the playoffs as many times under coach tenure as we had with Jim Caldwell. So I didn't have a problem with that. He had success with the Indianapolis Colts, but it's like people try and do too much. You're getting caught up in the decision that he made and saying you want him gone. That's like your lady, man. She try and do something nice and clean your wash your shirt or whatever, and she put bleach in there by mistake, and now you want her gone. You got a good woman, but you want her gone because she messed up your favorite shirt. Nah, you don't do that, man. Come on, man. Y'all kill me with that. Kill me. And they want him gone. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the numbers show it right here. This dude ain't that bad, ladies and gentlemen. This dude ain't that bad, America. This dude ain't that bad. Earth. If I told you somebody else's team, other than the Patriots, or I'm trying to think of somebody else, it's probably really just the Patriots. If I told any other team, this is the success you would have, would you want this coach? Would you want your coach doing that? Yes. And I just don't get it. And they want him gone. When I first thought about it, I was thinking like, well, he has made a mistake. But then I'm like, wait. It's plenty of coaches out here making mistakes. And we got coaches that's retreads, and we got coaches that's getting other opportunities, for doing way less than what Mike Tomlin has done. So let's just slow it up America, slow it up. It's in the numbers. It's in the numbers. Lopan, thank you for pointing that out to me today.
Indeed.
Yes, finally, Lopan has done something good these days. So we'll move on from that because they're out of the playoffs. So we're not talking about them. They'll probably be right back in the playoffs again because Ben said he's coming back and all this stuff. And if they can get Le'Veon, they got a good chance, of doing it. So let's get into the last segment of today's show. And of course, you listen to the Wait a Minute Show with your man Jelani JB Bodie, who will be on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So make sure you go to thewaitaminuteshow.com. So we got some conference championship games coming up. And we got Jacksonville, who took care of business, is headed up to New England now. And then our second game that we'll finish this thing off and find out what our Super Bowl matchup will be Minnesota versus Philadelphia. So I'm still haven't decided on either one of these games. I think I'll have I definitely will have an answer for Saturday's show, because these games are closer than a lot of people think. These games could go any way. It's not just that simple, if you look at it. So we'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here's the thing with Jacksonville in the New England game. What Jacksonville has shown is, one, the weather is not anything that's going to bother them. So people who threw that out there as far as like, they, warm weather city, and all this stuff going up north and all that, they just proved we can win against a high power offense, if you will. Now, will they give 45 points again and all that stuff? I'm not going to say all that, but they got the job done. They have a good foundation. I mean, I gave props to Tom Coughlin because the last time the Jaguars was in this position, Tom Coughlin was the coach. Now, obviously, Doug Marrone is the coach, and he, gets the credit. But Tom Coughlin is a guy who got guys like, Calais Campbell, to come there. He is the guy, that was involved in getting Leonard Fournette, making that decision, and other moves, personnel moves that they made in that organization. But you have to give also Jacksonville a shot in this game because they've played the entire year without their Pro Bowl wide receiver, Allen Robinson. I think a lot of people forget, about that. They lost Allen Hurns, which was their number 2 guy, and they are doing it and they're winning games. Obviously, the defense is a big factor in it, but they are winning games with guys, rookies like Keelan Cole, Dede Westbrook, and then also running the ball with Leonard Fournette. TJ Yeldon is helping out, with that offense. Chris Ivey, not as much as right now, but and regardless of how much you want to say he stinks and everything, Blake Bortles has been making enough plays or limiting mistakes for this team to excel and win. That's proof in the pudding. They're in the championship game to go to the Super Bowl. Now, on the flip side, New England, do we really have to go anything, into about New England? This team, they do it every year. They next man up, do your job, and all this stuff. And they put that beat down on the Titans and showed them what playoff ball was really about. But this will not be the same type of game. They will have to come out with a different game plan. And I'm sure the first thing is going to be stop Leonard Fournette. Stop the running game. On the offensive side for New England, I think the biggest thing, they do what they've been doing. Short, mid-range passes, get the ball out of Tom's hand as fast as possible. Let your skilled players try and make the play, but also utilize Gronk like you have never done before. There is no one on Jacksonville's team, even though they're fast. Guys like Miles Jack, is fast. There's still no one that can run with Gronk. So if Jacksonville is smart, they're probably going to try and double team them at some point, but they like to play man-to-man. But these shifty wide receivers like Brandon Cooks, Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan might be playing. They're saying Rex Burkhead might be back as well. And he's not a wide receiver, but you can use him as a wide receiver. Dion Lewis is the same thing. You can use all these guys in different positions. So they're going to try to confuse Jacksonville with that, to basically show them something that they think they're seeing, but they're not seeing. And for Jacksonville, the biggest thing Jacksonville needs to do, just like they did last week, no matter what happened, you are still in the game. They were up 21-7. And of course, Pittsburgh made a run back, but they did not fold. And that's what they have to do as well. Thorny Switch said Jalen will be ready, for Gronk. And I'm sure Jalen Ramsey is going to be up for that challenge. If the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to go back and they're going to use, Jalen like that, you need to look at Eric Berry in that first game where Kansas City played New England and how they played Gronk. But it's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised again. This is going to be a game better than a lot of people expect. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I don't see anything like a 45-42 game, again, like we saw. But my pick, of course, will be on Saturday, so I just don't know yet. New England doesn't have this thing wrapped up like people may think they do, And also, last game that we're going to see, backup versus backup, I guess you can actually say, or maybe backup versus starter at this point, because I told you this is Case Keenum's team now. But Minnesota Vikings is going to go to Philadelphia and take on the microwaves Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think this game is going to be as enticing. It definitely won't be what we got with the New Orleans game. But two teams, again, cold weather, doesn't matter at all. The biggest thing for Minnesota really is going to be to try and establish a running game against this front seven of Philadelphia. Jarrett McKinnon, Latavius Murray, they have done excellent jobs in the season. When Dalvin Cook went down, a lot of people thought, it's over. It's over. This guy was a monster, and they're regressing. And they didn't. Collectively, these two dudes have stepped up and answered the bell. We know what Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen is going to give you. We know what Kyle Rudolph is going to give you. So he got outside targets, but it's going to be keeping this defense on the field. And I know a lot of people normally say keeping the defense on keeping a quarterback off of the field, like with Tom Brady, keeping a quarterback off. But no, you want to keep this defense on the field, because one thing we haven't saw from the Eagles yet is for their defense to get just ran over, piled through, and whether that defense can hold long enough for this thing to turn into a Minnesota victory. So run even more, and don't try to be, we're going to go deep, we're going to be this aerial assault or anything like that. That would be, what I would think we would see from Minnesota. Now, on Philadelphia's side, you got a guy, Nick Foles, man. He has had good games. We saw it after Carson Wentz got hurt. He had a 4-touchdown game. So he's capable of having a game. He is capable of throwing 5 touchdowns. He's done it before. But I think what he did last week with the whole run-pass option, continue with that. Take the short passes like he did before. Try and keep it ugly, because the defense from Minnesota is definitely going to keep it ugly. But use the RPO, run-pass option, till you can't anymore. Because the defense is going to be aggressive. Guys like Everson Griffin, Daniel Hunter, they're going to be charging up the field. And this is the time for a guy like Jay Ajayi. This is why you got him. catch that ball out of the backfield, have them run wheel routes, have them run angle routes, have them run drags, whatever it is. Run them in the middle, run them up through the tackles, run them outside, whatever. And then